What's up, squad? Today we're going to cover quick tips part 2 for the Isochain. How to make our Isochain, whether it's OG or Dragon or whatever, our experience the best. If you haven't seen the first video, here's a link right here. Go ahead and check that out. It's kind of old. Bear with me. I was just learning the camera at that point. Still kind of learning the camera. New camera. But last time it was only 3 tips. This time it's 5. And the first one is learn to flow through your chain links. If you had the Isochain for any amount of time, you'll know that flowing through the chain links is probably one of the best practices that we can do to make sure that our Isochain sessions don't last an extra 5 to 10 minutes. Because even though if you're going for strength, it's only 6-second contractions, trust me, they add up and you will be sweating. Whether you're doing strength, hypertrophy, a mix of both, or endurance, you're gonna be sweating by the time you're done. Definitely, guaranteed. So why not make it easier figuring out what our chain links are, writing them all down on a piece of notebook paper, and then that way when it's time for our next session, we just flow right through the chain links. You don't have to stop, figure it out. That is definitely honestly, probably a power tip over the other 4 that I'm gonna cover today. Number 2, watch your feet placement and bar placement when we're performing our Isochain exercise. Case in point, the seated calf raise, which is becoming a lot more popular with not only myself, but a lot of people who are performing exercise on Isochain, and it's just really direct. It's really, in my opinion, just overall better than the standing calf raise, but the number may fluctuate if the bar placement and the feet placement are different each time. By remembering proper foot placement and bar placement, and if we're ever stuck on that, we can always find out how to perform our Isochain exercises by clicking on this link right here and going to the how to perform X Isochain exercise. We'll never have to figure that out again. But when first performing these exercises, it's a really good habit to just figure out where the bar placement is and where our hand placement is, where our feet placement is. And mini tip, take a picture if you need to, it does help. All right, check this out. Number 3, dynamic warm-up. Now, we don't talk too much about warm-ups on the channel. I do have a video on dynamic warm-up, which you can find right here. Go ahead and check that out. It's really important because something that we don't cover too much are shell tissue. All right, so without going too much into detail, because I do cover it in a dynamic warm-up video, when shell tissues get warmed up, it makes our Isochain session a lot more beneficial. We're actually able to contract and pull higher numbers when those shell tissues are warmed up. And those dynamic warm-up exercises don't take too long. Just think of like your traditional jumping jack, but I go over that in that video. Go ahead and check that out. But having a dynamic warm-up, if you have the time, all right, is highly beneficial to everyone. Number 4, staying consistent. Consistency is something that I've preached for very, very many years. Honestly, any client that I train in-house, in person, they're probably tired of me using the C word, but it's totally true, guys. Consistency makes everything flow together. If we're performing 1 Isochain session a week, and that's really all we can put towards it, you know, granted, yes, it is better than 0, but if the next Isochain session we get is 3 weeks later, that's not really gonna do anything for you. It's the same concept, you know, whether it's weightlifting, cardio, eating right, consistency is the glue that holds all the other pieces together. So if you can only commit to 1 time a week, make sure that you really mark down that time as that is your Isochain time. Doesn't take too long for these workouts either. And here's the last one. Tip number 5, get vocal, guys. Now I have a video on getting vocal, which you can find right here. Believe it or not, this is tested. Your number will increase if you're yelling. Yeah, believe it or not, yes. Without getting too into it, the martial arts ki, whenever we like, you know, into a strike, there's more power in it. It's not just to intimidate your foe, all right? There's more power in the strike. Oxygen being exhaled, that allows more energy to be exerted into that action. That's why a lot of weightlifters, bodybuilders, whatever, power lifters that have been in the game for a while, they know when it's time to move some heavy ass weight, that it's time to grunt. There's no way you can keep that inside. When it's time to put up a big bench like 275 plus, 315 and the like, and way above that, to be honest, over the years, I don't think I've ever seen someone do those numbers quietly. Those are our 5 tips. Now, if there are any more that you think should have gone into this video, go ahead and comment them down below. We'd love to hear it, because anything that's going to speed up our process to become super strong superhumans with the Isochain, I'm pretty sure that we all want to hear it. So go ahead and drop the comments down below. Thank you for watching. If you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Come join the squad with us. See you in the next video. Peace.